You wanna...
colors.
Hmm.
So Vimidoll, when you are ready, you click ready. Check. Okay. Oh, I still have to change map type to random. No, I will give you. Okay, I'll give you random. Yep. Ready.
Oh, I'm green? Oh, this is actually yellow.
Okay. Do you have favorite color enough?
Kind of.
Hmm?
Kind of.
Is the yellow?
Well, I don't have like a super favorite color, but
It's good if
I've
you
been
play
yellow also
games.
in Pokemon Go, for example.
Yeah, team
I picked it over blue and
instinct,
red.
right? Yeah. It was called team instinct.
Mm-hmm.
It is good if we would have like stable colors in our games. That's why I'm asking, because then like you can recognize player by games. But if you keep cycling them, then maybe it might be harder. Jeez, boom, writing me again.
Hunting or foraging? What gives more food?
Definitely foraging is better because for hunting you have to actually micromanage, right? You hunt.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, storage pit. Yeah, you need to build a granary to collect bush food, not storage pit. So yeah, you have casualty there. Oh, that's Vimidoll, actually, yeah. Vimidoll, why don't you make more villagers? I'm glad you like the game. Yeah.
Not bad.
Kind of gave up on you playing this with us, but you adapted very nicely. Didn't even have to push you into I mean, I intended to like play with a Hearthstone with you a few times. Then I would like bait you on my group, and I will ask you again. But
Smart.
you actually developed initiative. That's very good. Oh, she raised the very guilty. So I would not like ask you right away. Yeah, yeah. Also with Vimidoll, I didn't also like had her instantly. When I was trying to get Vimidoll to game, obviously there were discounts, and I was like actually breaking her for weeks. Even over month, I actually resigned on it. But sometimes, like when she saw like there is this group and they are playing it, and like people don't want to be left out. It's a psychological element. I'm like fully utilizing it. Because I cannot play with random people. Because by default everyone plays on fast animations and I can't stand them. So I basically make my friends play it. The same thing like on elementary school. You probably remember the story when I contracted Karen into playing with me. you wonder with me. Maybe not. So much like resources on the map. The previous one was not big rich. Yeah, so I ever think about a gameplay, cluttering buildings. You see, the town center can be used as a discard pile for every resource. So if you build buildings around it, it actually restricts the directions from which it can access resources. Like right now, as they are mining wood, it slightly prolongs the way your villagers have to go.
I don't get it.
Also, you can build
Wait,
farms,
I need to like, if you could, what I need to?
The room around your town center.
Room around my town center.
It is cluttered by buildings.
Okay, whatever.
Nice.
Now maybe like explain me after the game, because now I have to focus on the game and I don't really understand what you're saying.
Around your town center.
By what?
Farming okolo.
Farms, yeah, I'm don't have market, you know?
Yeah, I know.
I would have to upgrade to the next age and then build market.
You are making noises. You have 10 seconds to do something about it before I mute you.
What?
The other guy was noisy.
Yeah.
I think I will go wash my hair while you are in the beginning stages of the game.
Mhm.
I will record your stream meanwhile.
Connected? Population 75. Anyone still here? Let's go find out. What are you guys doing in here? No spoilers.
I didn't even expect to be violence there at this point. Oh well, it's my original base. I see. check how the map is doing. Lol. You lost units against me.
Me?
Yeah. Your catapults killed the camel rider.
So what? Yes. I'm making new ones. That's alright. Oh, that's not right. I make these.
Oh wow. So I see you both made the same mistake.
And that is?
Building your houses next to each other. You see, in case an enemy army will invade your territory, they will raise all your houses practically at once, and like in 10 or 5 minutes, you will lose your entire population limit, which is very vulnerable to attack. The houses should be more spread. I don't know why beginners build it. Vimidoll did the same thing. I don't know why they build it that way, but it's a target. You know, understand? It's an important military target. Defensively weak. I always spread my houses, so you cannot deprive me of.
Okay, I got it already. Got it already?
Oh. First blood. Oh yeah. Both of your units are not upgraded. Kind of funny. Vimidoll defended. Egyptian mirror. Hey, I see you like can play basic game mechanics. So you're kind of there, yeah. All that is left is basically to train both of your like mine small expertise, soft skills. Pretty balanced. Basically, the whichever one first figures out how to play, how to improvise better wins.
I mean,
To learn from like from seeing what works and what not is improvise. I'm glad it was possible. seems like Vimidoll strategy is very gold saving. Hmm.
I won.
All right, yeah, good job. So, congratulations, your first victory.
Yeah, congrats.
So about my notes. So first of the obvious ones, none of you upgraded your equipment in the storage pit. So you played with basic weapons and basic armor. Later on, Nina upgraded her arrows, and Vimidoll did not.
Because like I didn't know that I can upgrade like in storage pit something. I didn't come to mind to check.
Check buildings. Yeah, it's like that's like knowledge issues and the houses I mentioned, and then there is like another one coming to my mind is the efficiency of units. So basically, the efficiency of units is kind of measured of how much damage can they dish out versus how much can they do they receive. So basically, if let's say there are like fielded, I don't know, like on one side there is more units, disproportionately more units, and the other side has better quality units. So in this case, the side with more like a higher number of units will win, because one unit can only attack one unit at a time, so the damage is dished out one on one, while it receives damage from multiple sources. So the quotient of, how to express the quotient of damage dishing versus damage receiving is tilted to the party which is more quantity units. This is why Nina's elephants were dying to chariots, which is like way less health. But this is how Vimidoll repelled attacks against.
It didn't really seem they were dying. I mean, yeah, a few of them died.
Yeah, they were outnumbered. It's just that they were outnumbered, and this is why I, for example, pull out my units, and I always want to have power in numbers, because then my units like live longer, and the longer they live, the more damage can they dish. The longer unit lives, the more time. So it's good to not attack. This is why Crystal, if you noticed, is freaked out when I stop attacking her, because that means I am pulling my forces out, and that means that I am recharging for a larger strike. A larger strike is dangerous because it is like way more potency than few smaller strikes.
GG.
Another mistake is logistics one, and I see that you have like favorite units, but both of you only have one time of the building which produces them. The building costs only 125 wood, which is basically even less than one elephant. So let's say Vimidoll had like one stables. Why didn't she build, for example, 3 or 4 stables so she can field out the units faster? The waiting time during which units is produced, the time is a valuable resource as such in Age of Empires. So if you have more buildings of the same kind, the faster the units is produced and the larger value is from it. The same applies for Nina. Both of them only had one siege workshop, one archery range. For Vimidoll it was stables, only one piece. And so military production was only multiplied by the number 1, which is the slow military production. Another thing is that both of you were transporting your units for the entire map, which in this case was small, but the waiting time, the speed in which you fill your units is your combat efficiency. So not only you need more buildings of the same type, but you also need to build your military buildings closer to your opponent so you can effectively pressure them. If I was playing in, let's say, Nina's case, she's like these powerful elephants, I would take like few villagers in my first wave, claim some territory, and I will build archery ranges like next to Vimidoll's doorstep. Then I will build towers to defend them, and that is territory denial. So I would like pressure her to completely move, and this is why Crystal keeps moving her location. She has to move because I capture the location with towers. My buildings everywhere. It's not just I kill her units and go away. I seize the territory. It's a territorial dominance strategy. You deny space. That's how you win the game, because yeah, your resources are one time, but also you are expanding, denying territory, like pushing. It's like basically you can imagine Age of Empires like arm wrestling. You are constantly denying space, pushing your opponent out and out of the map. So build buildings aggressively, like next to your opponent. More types of buildings. Yeah, wood is very like abundant. There is like, of course, like critique to like amount of stone throwers produced, like, yeah, but that's a subjective military composition. I do not need to comment on that because that's like a matter of personal preference, of course, and the acquired skill. But yeah. So also the strategy about expansion, regarding expansion, is that you both are occupying very much your starting territory. None of you, for example, Nina, destroyed my original base. And you notice there was like a lot of stone here, a lot of gold mine. You found it. Yet you haven't sent your villagers group to build additional town center here to mine more resources. This is how you gather resources from harvest entire map, which determines how much military power can you have. Also, when Vimidoll was attacked, this is why Glade, he destroyed my entire static base without any resistance, basically, and I didn't care because the base wasn't important for me at that moment. Only pushing my opponents out. The base was completely mined out of resources. The territory is only valuable if it provides tactical advantage, it's close to the enemy, it's well protected, etc. Or it has resources you can mine. So, for example, Vimidoll, when seeing that she's outnumbered, she could do several things, provided she has a spirit to fight. Of course, it is reinforcing military buildings, because obviously she couldn't produce enough cavalry to counter Nina's elephants. That's why she lost. She didn't produce enough stables, so she could outproduce her, which was completely viable gameplay because the elephants are expensive as fuck. And when she was being overwhelmed, she also did not evacuate her base. If I am losing the base, I withdraw my villagers and I build my base elsewhere from scratch. It's not a problem, the buildings are cheap, so they are hard to destroy, and the opponent has to spend time to destroy buildings. So they effectively act as hurdles in the space. So you can just travel in the map. You can just watch some of my fights with Crystal. We play the entire map, spreading everywhere, constantly fighting for territories, for mines, harvesting resources, trying to find out effective way how to outproduce, how to produce cheaply, how to put pressure. Everything like combat and economy is like a beautiful symphony of like strategies and gameplays in order to constantly get on top of each other, to dominate the opponent. So this was very much a gameplay which I would expect from a single player, which is, yes, unfortunately what only as far as single player gets you, because though there are campaigns which teach you to build more like bases, in fact you do not need to build more bases to win single player, so you never acquire these skills. You are rarely threatened. Also in single player you cannot actually learn how to do these things, to play these strategies. So that's why you played the way you did, because you finished fresh the campaign and it's seen on there. But as long as you will play multiplayer, you will learn that there is more than one wave to overwhelm enemy, that you can build on more spaces, how like production speed comes to charge, how to effectively micromanage your armies. For example, it is almost impossible to hit me with a catapult because my micro is so precise. I'm literally avoiding catapult shots. Paying attention to like the combat is maximizing value, because like basically when you get hit by the catapult shot, the chariot archer's cost is 6 food and 40 wood. So the chariot archer's cost is basically 100 units, right? 100 resources.
Mm-hmm.
Being hit by a stone tower basically subtracts 51 resources.
Yeah, that's why I built the stone throwers.
But Vimidoll could have evaded your shots, and your stone tower is worth of 240
Yeah, but it's
resources.
not that easy to avoid the shot.
So basically, your stone tower needs to deal 5 hits in order to get value out of it. But it can be overpowered. It cannot hit it at least once, and that's a major loss because stone tower is expensive. But this was a rich map, so the strategy worked. Egyptian stone throwers suck. So you played very like basic version of stone tower. You don't even have upgrades to the catapult in your tech. So the selection of unit was suboptimal, but you are not experienced with other civilizations, so it's logical. This is all you know, so it's understandable play. So yeah, it was kind of balanced. It was nice to watch. It was you managed to tiptoe, and you didn't really improvise that much. I think Nina won because she simply selected stronger unit, and yeah, because since both of you only had 1 or 2 types of production buildings, the elephant will dominate because they beat chariots 1-on-1. So this was a matter of time, basically. It was pre-decided because none of you build more buildings. If you were playing on lot of units, then the fact how expensive elephants are, Nina would run out of gold, which was not a problem of Vimidoll. So in the long run, Vimidoll could overwhelm you by exhausting your resources. But again, she only had one military production building, so though she had resources, she was too slow to field them. So your raw military power suppressed her completely with elephants. This is boring. Wow.
I mean, some players like enjoy the analysis and some don't, right? Some like wanna have fun and like play casually, and some players like
Vimidoll is
are trying
analyst.
to
She is
improve, right?
Factorio player.
Sorry?
Vimidoll is Factorio player analyst. So she's definitely, I would expect this kind of calculation exactly from her.
I
From
mean,
both of you, kind of. It seems like the multiplayer competitive potency of Pokemon
maybe
TCG fell
it's
apart.
maybe it also depends on the game because I'm like I was pretty good at Hearthstone, but I'm not as good as teamfight tactics, for example, even though I really try.
Well, I mean, I suck at RPGs, and I'm good at. I mean, I'm decent at card games, Hearthstone, though I can't play like high-profile Yu-Gi-Oh. But I'm also not very good in real-time strategies. I'm also not optimal in this genre. My primary genre is turn-based strategies, where I excel. So I'm, let's say, moderate at this game.
Mm-hmm.
The fun out of the game is from seeing tiny people move around. Yes, but you can move more tiny people around larger territory. You know, that's the fun thing. Do enjoy analysis? Yes, you do enjoy analysis. So I can tell that means you have a high skill ceiling in this game because you're
Well,
willing to get
it's
into.
not clear yet because, yeah, I understood some point that I should have built like the same building twice. I didn't really think about it. Yeah, I didn't know that if I have two buildings, then I can build like more units at the same time
Yeah, you
of the
don't
same
need to,
unit. I
because
mean,
AI will not kill your units. So like you produce your in single player, you produce your army, you steamroll AI. That's a game. But in
yeah.
PvP, it's just the human will not give himself so easy. He will improvise. He will try to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to put on more production effort. I even
Yeah.
say sometimes that playing too much single player is actually detrimental for you, because single player, I believe, is only good for you to get like basic gameplay mechanics in the game. And once you do
Mm-hmm.
it, you are learning habits, and that's when single player becomes bad for your development. And this is why there is a meme about me that I do not respect single players, and I only was interested in, I only was like kind of um, willing to pay a Factorio minimal respect after I learned it can be played in multiplayer, because exactly it is your multiplayer, your competitive like intelligence which overwhelmed Vimidoll, even though in lesser scale, because she is Factorio player and you are both very skilled mathematically. I mean, Vimidoll is a mathematician, and you are also a mathematician in a way. You are from very
No,
similar
I
field.
know.
So
You know that I didn't finish university. I have like bachelor's degree.
yeah, but that's so does Vimidoll.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember you almost took me like to a mathematics camp.
yeah,
Yeah, that
remember that too.
Troystian or something. So yeah, I kind of cheated
I
out of it. Anyway,
I remember that because I was kind of like a scam because
mm,
I cheated because I kind of like did the tasks for you. And
yeah.
you actually told it in front of my dad. That was supposed to be a secret that I'm doing the math tasks for you, you
I
know?
didn't even know that you are doing it for me. Anyway, yeah, the
Well,
point is that you are both like similar skill sets. So your game is balanced, but the difference is that Vimidoll's talents are focused on the sheer like factorial like production, while Nina's talents are used in a destructive way of multiplayer. I mean, I saw that because you were both. It's the first thing, like you both were in the same civilization, and instantly went after elephants because they had high HP, and stormtroopers because they deal high damage. So you have the sense of power. You prioritize units which do large blow or have high health. So you understand
yeah,
combat value. While
I
Vimidoll
actually.
went for basic chariots for whatever reason. I mean, it's a good reason. Chariots are great, like in the long term, but Vimidoll didn't really use them right, which makes me think their selection was random.
You actually said that it's better to have more units than quality units somewhere in the analysis, and I don't see how that's true because I had higher quality units and I still won. So,
Yeah, well, because Vimidoll didn't have more units ultimately than you. And yes,
huh.
the units cost the same
But even if she
population, but
had like more units, I maybe would be able to win because my units were better quality. I mean, she would have need to have a lot more units to beat
well,
better units, right?
kind of like the cavalry is actually good offensively, not defensively, and the point of overwhelming is that while you move your slow elephants around, the chariots can overwhelm you, but they will always lose. The point of chariots is that they do not cost gold, so you can fill them basically forever, while the gold player will run out of gold. So that's how chariots win game. But
Mm,
otherwise, chariots are weaker than gold units.
I use cavalry units because I find they're better on defense.
Let's
Can't
say,
tell.
yeah, well,
Second, it's my second PvP game, so
the elephants are better on defense because they have a lot of health and move slowly. Cavalry have less health, though still quite a bit, and moves quickly. And there is like infantry, like barracks infantry, which you may wonder why is even in the game. And
yeah.
the answer is that the government center has an upgrade which reduces the amount of population slots a barracks units need from 1 to 0.5, which
Mhm.
means you can field 2 barracks units per every 1 slot of units. So barracks units are the overwhelming force.
Elephant's still better in my opinion.
Yeah, but Egyptian is terrible barracks units, so this is not viable strategy for them. Egyptians really win either on like high quality elephants or chariots are very strong Egyptian tool. I won game. I also lost games to Egyptian chariot because it's very resilient. In fact, if Vimidoll managed to get Sky's chariot, which is a melee chariot which is trample damage, she would actually do the AoE damage with her chariots, and that would kill your elephants if she did it in time. But yeah, that's a beginner game still, beginner. So chariots are definitely good units. They just need to be played in a specific way, which like you will get for intuition. 90%, 95% of gameplay of factory is economy. Yeah, that's kind of like, see, for me, I told you that the economy is, the purpose of economy is to build military. I don't see a reason to build economy if it doesn't have ending. You just forever build, like forever expanding economy for no reason until it becomes chore, basically. At least that's how I perceive it. That's a competitive mindset.
Well, yeah, that's how it was the first game, that I like did everything, and I just, when there are multiple players, it's not worth it to like attack one player, because you can like wait till other players kill each other, you know?
Yeah, that's a free for all syndrome, and that's a correct strategy. Though, if you're like against, you also need to combine this strategy with actually trying to destroy the player which is on top, because he presents your existential threat. So you unite with weaker players and destroy the player on top. I used strategies.
Yeah, that's what I was trying, but I didn't know that you were on top. I thought it's Crystal on top.
Yeah, I constantly made myself look weaker. I made alliance with Charlotte. I also relied on her emotional distaste for Kristoff because of her past aggressions in previous games. I relied on Star Squids because I know she's peaceful, and I kind of managed to obtain permissions. Then I built towers on their territories in order to discourage them from betraying me. It's a silent threat, you know. I coax people into cooperating with me. I build Axemen to make myself look weaker. I hide my true power. I manipulate the narrative in the free-for-all. I withdraw from territories. I try to make Crystal to commit aggressions. I silently mine resources. I am not very noisy. I don't explore too much. And Crystal is it's almost like a very soft social intelligence. This is like the game breaks the fourth wall in free-for-all. And this is how I acquired not only Charlotte's alliance, but also Star Squids, and I also acquired your alliance the moment I was pretty sure you were trying to kill me, Nina. But the moment I realized that you can be my friend instead, quickly changed my strategy, because in free-for-all, of course, your attention is the primary resource. I switched my strategy, and I had 3 allies, and Crystal only had Glade. And she was running out of gold. Glade was a good ally to her, but he only understood the situation. So yeah, she was very much going to lose unless you would start betraying me. So this is how I also like craft a social setting in which is favorable to me in free fall. I do it all the time. For a win, it's part of the game. That's like Discord allows me to do this. Even the Axeman, obviously, I wanted to conserve my gold for when I need it. But I had like 13 or 11,000 gold. I had a lot of gold. So I could fill those legions all the time, and I started filling Axeman. I wanted to bring Crystal to false conclusion that I am out of gold, which at the same time makes me look weak. So if people believe that I'm out of gold, then my allies are more eager to support me, while my enemy is more eager to attack me, which supports my allies. So it fosters my real relationship with others, while the true truth about how much gold I have is hidden. So I get all the advantage this way. This is a very This is like very advanced like gameplay. It's
Mhm.
I spend years playing Age of Wonders. I'm just transferring my skills to this. It's like
Mhm.
effectively like into manipulation of one's intuition.
Mhm.
At some point, you will do this without even realizing it. It comes to me very naturally. This is how you play. This is not something you can do with in Factory. I saw that emoji.
What emoji?
She made a face on me like the rice risen eyebrow.
Mhm.
Pity you can't talk. Okay.
That was a long time ago, like the emoji.
I only saw it right now. It must have been
Mhm.
saved from me because I was in game. So yeah, this is a simple game on the first sight, but it delves like more and more difficult, more nuanced.
Mhm.
I wish to play once we will all have some sort of skills, which I think we already finished by today. I want to play team games, which is from the beginning is like teamed. You know, me and
Mhm.
Krista will draft people into our teams, and this is a better alternative to Wonder gameplay because Wonder gameplay is, yeah, you invest your resources into Wonder and you either win or lose. Yeah, you either win game or your Wonder collapses and you are kind of fucked. So I don't still like that gameplay. I think it's a game ender, but it's not a good game ender. I think in team games you don't have this crisis because you can ban Wonders then, and then where people are teamed up, it's very easy to push your territory as a team. It's completely some different power scale. It's a huge bloodshed everywhere in team games.
Mhm.
Very violent.
Mhm.
I didn't want to play it from the start because I didn't want to make people rely on each other. Also, I wanted like people to make natural friendships. And I didn't want to like. I thought that so far we were also me and Krista were both avoiding violence to other people, only to each other. So basically, it was a duel with extra steps. But since other people will get more of a factor, the manipulation factor will become so powerful with you, with the rest of you becoming good in the game, that the game will be all about social pandering, which is not good. So that's when the format will be transformed into a proper team game, which is like a very like a, it's appropriate game, like play for pure destruction. There's like place for rush, one place like putting pressure, mining, resource training. I will respect that obviously, so we are not battery, but yeah, that's how I want to play. And finally, we are also in good numbers. Even when you have at least 4 people, you can play 2v2, which is not great. 3v3 is much better. Optimally 4v4, I can put larger map and like differences are depleted. So yeah, this is great future. I just need to groom more people to play this game.
Mm.
Giving you space.
I don't know what to say. Do we play anything else? It's kind of late.
You can play Hearthstone if you want. I have 1 more hour.
I mean, wow.
I can go to sleep too.
Yeah, I said that I go to sleep in the morning, but